Right now, as you listen to this, your mind is producing thoughts about something that is not here.
Something in the past. Something you said, or did, or failed to do. Something that already happened and cannot be changed, but that your mind keeps returning to, keeps examining, keeps trying to resolve through examination that can produce no resolution.
Or something in the future. Something that has not happened. Something that may never happen. Something your mind has constructed in vivid, detailed, alarming imagination and is now experiencing as if it were real and immediate.
And while your mind is there, in the past that cannot be changed, or the future that exists only in imagination, right now is passing.
The actual moment of your actual life. The only moment where anything real can be experienced. The only moment where happiness is actually available.
Passing. Without you genuinely in it. Because your mind is somewhere else.
And here is the specific damage that this does. Not the anxiety the overthinking produces, though that is real and significant, but something more fundamental.
Every moment your mind is in the overthinking spiral, it is a moment of your real life where happiness was available, where warmth was available, where genuine connection was available, where the simple experience of being alive was available.
And none of it was received. Because you were not there to receive it.
This is what overthinking does to happiness. Not through dramatic intervention. Quietly. Continuously. Moment by moment. It displaces the happiness that was always present by occupying the mental space where happiness would naturally exist if the mind were here.
Today, we bring you back. With real understanding, with specific methods, and with the English to recognize the pattern and interrupt it in real time.
Stay with us. The happiness you have been looking for, it is not somewhere you have not yet been. It is here, in the moments you have been too occupied to inhabit. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speak Unstoppable, the podcast where we help you speak English naturally and confidently through real, honest conversations.
I'm John.
And I'm Maria. So happy you're here with us today.
This episode is for B1 to B2 learners, intermediate to upper intermediate level English.
Before we go further, please subscribe to Speak Unstoppable right now. One tap. New episodes every single day. We are here for your English and your happiness every single day.
Subscribed? Good. Now let's talk about the pattern that is costing you more happiness than almost anything else in your life.
How are you feeling today, John?
Honestly, present. Which is the single most important quality for today's topic, and the hardest one for most people to maintain.
Same. Before we continue, thank you, really, for being here, for choosing to address something this fundamental.
Let's go.
Okay, I want to show you something. A simple image that contains one of the most important truths about the relationship between thinking and happiness.
A divided mind. One person. Two completely different internal experiences.
On the dark side, the mind is occupied. The thoughts circulating inside it are, what if? Maybe. I cannot. What will they think?
The sky is stormy. The environment is chaotic. The mind is tangled, like a ball of thread that has been pulled in too many directions simultaneously.
And this mind, however intelligent, however capable, it is not here. It is in the imagined judgment. in the constructed future, in the rehearsed catastrophe, in the worry that feels like preparation but produces only anxiety.
And on the light side, the mind is different. Not because it has solved all of its problems, not because life has become easy or perfect,
But because the qualities present are different. Act, focus, breathe, peace.
the sky is clear. The path ahead is visible. And most importantly, the mind is here.
Same person, same brain, same external circumstances, different internal relationship with the present moment.
And happiness, real happiness, not pleasure, not excitement, but the genuine experience of being fully present in your own life, it only exists on the light side.
Not because the light side has no problems, but because happiness is a present moment experience, and the present moment is only accessible from the light side.
Today, we understand exactly why, and we build the capacity to spend more time there. Let's examine the mechanism. Because the relationship between overthinking and happiness is not just intuitive, it is neurologically specific.
The experience of happiness, genuine, felt, experiential happiness, requires the activation of specific neural systems, the reward circuits that register positive experience, the integration of sensory experience that produces the felt quality of aliveness.
And these systems, these happiness-producing neural circuits, they operate most effectively when the prefrontal cortex is engaged with the actual present environment. When attentional resources are directed to what is actually here.
Prefrontal cortex, the front part of the brain responsible for conscious thought, attention direction, and the integration of sensory experience with evaluation.
But overthinking commandeers these same attentional resources. It directs them away from the actual present environment, away from the sensory experience of what is here, and toward the constructed mental content of the spiral.
And when attentional resources are directed toward the spiral, they are not available to the happiness-producing circuits. The warmth of the cup of coffee in your hand, the quality of the light through the window, the genuine laugh of someone you love.
These experiences are happening, physically present, genuinely available. But if attentional resources are occupied in the overthinking spiral, the experiences pass without being registered, without being felt.
Neurologically, happiness is an attentional experience as much as an environmental one. The same objective environment produces different subjective experiences depending on where attention is directed within it.
And the overthinking spiral, whatever its content, is a sustained, powerful, attentional competitor to the present moment. And it almost always wins.
Because the spiral is designed to feel urgent, to feel important, to feel like it demands continued attention because something significant depends on its resolution.
And the present moment, the cup, the light, the laugh, they do not demand attention. They simply offer it. Quietly. Without urgency.
And the brain, wired to respond to urgency, keeps attending to the spiral. And the happiness in the present moment keeps passing uncollected. The image shows 4 specific thoughts on the dark side. And each one, it hijacks happiness in a specific, identifiable way.
Thought 1. What if?
The what if thought is a future projection mechanism. It takes a present reality, which is manageable, which exists, which you have some relationship with, and projects it forward into an imagined future where it has become worse. where it has developed into a problem more serious than the current one.
And the mind, having constructed this imagined future, responds to it as if it were real. The anxiety it produces is real anxiety. The physical activation it causes is genuine physical activation. The distress it generates, real distress.
Even though the future it constructed does not exist, may never exist, has been built by a threat detection system calibrated toward worst-case scenarios rather than toward realistic probability.
And while the mind is experiencing real anxiety about an imagined future, the actual present is unattended. The actual situation, which is manageable, is not being addressed. Because attention is elsewhere.
And the happiness that the actual present contains, it is passing, without the mind being present enough to receive it.
Thought 2. Maybe.
The maybe thought is the branching mechanism of the overthinking spiral. Every maybe opens a new direction of exploration. Maybe this is worse than I think. Maybe they meant something different. Maybe I should have handled that differently. Maybe something even worse is coming.
And each branch requires exploration. And each exploration produces more branches. And the spiral expands, consuming more attentional resources, occupying more of the mind's processing capacity with each new branch it generates.
And this expansion, this progressive occupation of mental space, it progressively reduces the attentional resources available for the present moment, for what is actually here, for the experience that contains whatever happiness is currently available.
Thought 3. I cannot.
The I cannot thought is not a conclusion from evidence. It is a conclusion from the imagined weight of the thing, from the spiral's construction of how difficult, how risky, how potentially damaging the attempt could be.
And I cannot, when fully believed, ends engagement with the actual possibility. Which means the evidence that would disprove I cannot is never gathered. Because the attempt never happens.
And the I cannot belief persists, not because the capability is genuinely absent, but because the spiral's construction of the attempt's difficulty was more convincing than the actual attempt's outcome would have been.
And the happiness that would have come from attempting, from the experience of doing something that felt difficult and finding it manageable, it does not arrive. Because the attempt did not happen.
Thought 4. What will they think?
This thought places an imaginary audience in perpetual judgment of everything you do. Say, attempt, and produce.
And this audience, entirely constructed by the spiral, has remarkably high standards. It notices every imperfection. It evaluates everything critically. It remembers every error.
While the actual people in your actual life who are focused on their own concerns, their own anxieties, their own spirals, are paying far less attention than the imaginary audience suggests.
But the imaginary audience feels real, and behavior shaped by its imagined judgment, the restraint, the avoidance, the performance, it has real costs.
The genuine expression that was held back, the attempt that was not made, the connection that was not offered because the imaginary audience suggested it would be judged.
All of these, happiness that was available and was not received because the imaginary audience was more compelling than the actual reality.
Okay, and now the most important section. Because it contains the insight that changes everything about the relationship between thinking and happiness.
Happiness is not a state you achieve. It is not a destination you arrive at when conditions are right. It is not something that exists in the future when the problems are solved.
Happiness is an experience, and all experience, every experience without exception, happens in the present moment.
You cannot experience the past. You can remember it. You can revisit it mentally, but you cannot experience it. It is done.
You cannot experience the future. You can imagine it. You can anticipate it. You can construct detailed scenarios of it, but you cannot experience it. It has not happened.
The only thing that can be experienced, the only thing that is real in the sense of being present and available to actual felt experience, is now.
And happiness, which is fundamentally an experienced quality, it can only exist in now. It can be remembered from the past. It can be anticipated for the future. But it can only be felt now.
And now, the only location of happiness is exactly where the overthinking spiral is not.
The spiral is in the past, in the regret, in the should have done differently, or in the future, in the what if, in the imagined catastrophe.
It is not here, not now, not in the actual present moment that your body is currently inhabiting.
And while the mind is in the spiral, it is absent from the only place where happiness can be found.
This is not metaphorical. This is the precise description of the neurological and experiential mechanism by which overthinking destroys happiness.
Not by creating suffering, though it does create suffering, but by displacing, by occupying the attention that the present moment needs in order to be genuinely inhabited.
And the method, the specific, practical method for recovering happiness from the overthinking spiral is not the resolution of the spiral's content. It is the return of attention to the present. Okay, the light side of the image offers 4 specific qualities, and each one, it is not just a destination, but a practice. A specific way of returning attention to the present.
Act. The return through engagement.
Action is one of the most direct and most powerful returns from the overthinking spiral. Because the spiral inhabits the space of non-action. It fills the pause between intention and movement.
And action, however small, however imperfect, interrupts the spiral. Because action requires attentional resources to be directed at the actual present task, at the real object in front of you, at the genuine situation you are engaging with.
And that redirection from the spiral's constructed content to the actual real situation, it opens the channel through which present moment experience can be felt,
including the happiness that the actual situation contains, which the spiral was making inaccessible.
You do not act because you feel ready. You act because acting is how the return to the present happens, and the present is where the feeling, including the good feelings, lives.
Focus. The return through attention direction.
Focus is the deliberate direction of attention to what is actually, physically, sensory, experientially present.
Not the constructed future of the what if, not the replayed past of the regret. The actual cup. The actual face of the person in front of you. The actual task in your actual hands.
And focus, as we said earlier, is not the absence of intrusive thoughts. The spiral will produce its thoughts. That is what it does.
Focus is the practice of returning attention to the chosen present moment object after the intrusive thought appears. Each time, without self-judgment for the intrusion.
The intrusion comes, what if this goes wrong? And you notice it. And you return attention to what is actually here. The task, the person, the breath.
Not fighting the thought, not suppressing it, simply not following it. Returning instead to the present.
And each return, each practice repetition, it builds the neural capacity for presence. It strengthens the attentional pathway that leads back to now.
Breathe. The return through the body.
The body is always in the present. It cannot be anywhere else. Your breath is happening now. Your heartbeat is happening now. The physical sensations in your hands are happening now.
And redirecting attention to the body, to the breath especially, is one of the most reliable and most immediate returns from the spiral to the present available.
Extended exhale breathing, 4 counts in, 8 counts out, activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system. It sends a direct physiological signal the activation level can reduce. The threat response can ease.
Parasympathetic nervous system, the branch of the autonomic nervous system responsible for rest, restoration, and the reduction of stress activation.
And from the reduced physiological activation that the breathing produces, the present moment becomes more accessible. The spiral's urgency is slightly reduced. The actual environment becomes slightly more perceptible.
Peace, the return through acceptance.
Peace, in this context, is not the absence of problems. It is not the resolution of the spiral's content. It is the specific quality of a mind that is not requiring anything to be different from what it is right now in order to be at rest.
And this quality, this radical acceptance of the present moment as it is, it does not require the conditions to be perfect. It requires only the willingness to be fully present with what is actually here, rather than mentally elsewhere with what was or might be.
And from this quality of acceptance, from this genuine presence with what is, the experience of the present moment becomes available, including its warmth, its aliveness, its small, genuine pleasures.
Including its happiness, which was always there, in the present, waiting for the mind to arrive.
Let's talk about what becomes available when the overthinking reduces. Because most people, when they imagine happiness, imagine something dramatic, something they have not yet achieved, something that requires conditions that do not currently exist.
But the happiness that overthinking blocks, it is not in the future. It is not in the achievement of something not yet reached. It is in the present moments that are already happening.
The specific temperature of a drink in your hands, the quality of light at a particular time of day, the sound of someone you love laughing, genuinely, at something that actually struck them as funny.
The satisfaction of completing one small thing with full attention. The experience of a breath taken deliberately. The physical sensation of warmth or movement or stillness.
These are not dramatic happiness events. They are small ones, quiet ones, the kind that do not register as special from the outside.
But they are real. They are genuine. They are what happiness is actually made of for most people in most moments of a real human life.
Not the peak experiences, not the major achievements, The ordinary, present, unremarkable moments of being fully alive in your actual life.
And the mind, in the overthinking spiral, it passes through these moments without feeling them, without being present enough to receive what they contain.
Because it is somewhere else. In the imagined judgment. In the constructed catastrophe. In the examined past.
And the most profound cost of overthinking, it is not the anxiety it produces. That is painful and real, but recoverable.
The most profound cost is the ordinary happiness it displaces. The moments that were genuinely good, that contained real warmth, real connection, real aliveness, that passed without being inhabited.
And that is not recoverable. Those moments passed. But the next moment, and every moment after, they are still available.
If the mind is there to receive them. Okay. And finally, how to build this as a genuine practice. Because one episode, however clear and however useful, does not change a deeply established pattern. Practice does.
The presence practice has 3 levels, and each level, practiced consistently, builds toward the next.
Level 1. The momentary return.
Once per hour, just once, pause for 30 seconds. And bring attention fully to what is physically, sensory, experientially present right now.
What can you see? What can you hear? What physical sensations are present? What is the quality of the air? The light? The temperature?
30 seconds, once per hour. That is the level 1 practice. And in those 30 seconds, whatever happiness the present moment contains, you are actually there to receive it.
Level 2. The spiral interruption.
Every time you notice the spiral beginning, every time you catch the what if, or the regret, or the imaginary audience activating, interrupt it. Deliberately. Immediately.
Not by fighting it. Not by arguing with it. By simply returning attention to one present physical anchor. Breath. The sensation in your hands. Something visible in the immediate environment.
The spiral does not end. The thought is still there, but your attention is not following it. And attention is what the spiral needs in order to sustain.
Level 3. The appreciation practice.
Once per day, deliberately, specifically, identify one thing in your actual present life that is genuinely good. Not generally good, specifically good. Right now. In this actual day.
Not the big things, the small ones. The specific cup, the specific light, the specific person. The specific small moment.
Name it. Feel it briefly. Let it be enough.
Because the accumulation of small acknowledged present moments, the deliberate practice of receiving what the present actually contains, it changes the default relationship between attention and the present moment.
Over weeks and months, attention begins to rest more naturally in the present, not because the spiral has disappeared, but because the present has been practiced as an attentional home. Can I say something about what the image shows at the most fundamental level?
Please.
Both sides of the image, the dark side and the light side, they are inside the same head, the same mind, the same brain.
The piece is not somewhere else. It is not a different life. It is not a future state contingent on solving the problems that the spiral is examining.
It is in the same mind that holds the spiral. Right now. Available.
which means, and this is the most liberating thing I know about the relationship between thinking and happiness. You do not need your circumstances to change. You do not need the problems to be solved. You do not need the future to arrive.
You need to return from the dark side to the light side, from the spiral to the present, from what if to what is.
And the return is always available, in every moment, including this one.
And for English learners, this has a direct practical application.
The English overthinking spiral. What if I make a mistake? What if they judge me? What if my accent reveals my level? It is the dark side applied to language.
And the light side for English is exactly the same as the light side for everything else. Act. Speak before you are certain. Focus on what you are communicating, not on how perfectly you are communicating it. Breathe before the difficult moment. And be present in the actual exchange with the actual person, in the actual conversation.
The overthinking spiral about English is not protecting you. It is preventing you from the genuine exchange, from the genuine learning, from the genuine connection.
Step to the light side. Speak. Focus on meaning. Breathe. And be present in the actual conversation that is available right now.
Remember this. Happiness is not in the thinking. It is in the stopping. And the present moment, the one the stopping returns you to, it always contains more happiness than the spiral allowed you to notice.
Happiness is not in the thinking. It is in the stopping. And the present moment always has more than the spiral suggests.
Word tour time.
Word 1. Displace. To force something out of its natural position, to take the place of something that was there before. Example 1. Overthinking displaces happiness. It occupies the attentional space where happiness would naturally exist if the mind were genuinely present. Example 2. Do not let English anxiety displace genuine communication. The anxiety occupies the space where natural language flow would exist if the mind were focused on meaning rather than performance.
Word 2. Hijack. To take control of something by force and redirect it from its intended course. Example 1. The what-if thought hijacks present moment attention. It forcibly redirects attentional resources from what is actually here to what is imagined and constructed. Example 2. Recognize when anxiety is hijacking your English speaking. Name the hijack. Return attention to what you actually want to communicate. And speak from there.
Word 3. Commandeer. To take something for one's own use, often by force or without permission. Example 1. Overthinking commandeers the attentional resources that present moment happiness requires, appropriating them for the spiral's content without your conscious approval. Example 2. Do not let the internal critic commandeer your English attempts. Notice it. Name it. And then speak despite it.
Word 4. Parasympathetic. Relating to the branch of the autonomic nervous system associated with rest, restoration, and the reduction of stress activation. Example 1. Extended exhale breathing activates the parasympathetic nervous system, directly reducing the physiological activation that the overthinking spiral generates. Example 2. Create a parasympathetic relationship with English, one where the language is associated with rest and genuine expression rather than with performance anxiety and judgment.
Word 5. Attentional. Relating to the direction and allocation of attention, to where and how mental focus is applied. Example 1. Happiness is an attentional experience as much as an environmental one. The same environment produces different subjective experience depending on where attention is directed. Example 2. Attentional English practice. Genuinely noticing how the language works while using it produces deeper learning than passive exposure, where attention is only partially engaged.
Word 6. Contingent. Dependent on. Occurring only if specific conditions are met. Conditional. Example 1. The happiness the spiral promises is always contingent. Contingent on solving the problem, on resolving the uncertainty, on arriving at the imagined future. And because those conditions never arrive perfectly, the happiness never does either. Example 2. Your English fluency is not contingent on perfect pronunciation or perfect grammar. It is contingent on consistent, genuine use. And that is entirely within your control right now.
One thing this week.
Once per day, just once, catch the spiral within 30 seconds of its beginning. And use one of the 4 returns.
Act. Do something small and physical in the actual present. Focus. Return attention to one thing that is actually, sensory experientially here right now. Breathe. 4 in, 8 out, 3 times. Or simply return to what is visible, what is hearable, what is physically present in this actual moment.
1 interruption per day of 1 spiral before it has been running for more than 30 seconds.
Here is your sentence template.
I notice the spiral beginning. The specific thought taking me out of the present is, name it honestly. I am choosing the present moment instead. I am returning to what is actually here by, name your specific return method.
Say it out loud. Right now. With a real spiral you have been in this week. The real thought. The real return.
I notice the spiral. The thought is, name it. I am returning to now by, name your method.
Mean it. And use it today. Once. Before the spiral has been running for 30 seconds. Comment challenge.
Which thought most often takes you out of the present moment and into the spiral? What if? Maybe. I cannot. Or, what will they think?
Write using this sentence.
The thought that most often hijacks my present moment is, write your thought in the comments. And the return I am choosing this week is, write your specific return method in the comments.
Write it. In English. In the comments.
Because naming the thought publicly, identifying exactly what is hijacking your present, it is already a return, already a moment of being here rather than in the spiral.
We read every comment. Every single one.
Please give this a like and share it with someone whose happiness is being displaced right now.
New episode every single day on Speak Unstoppable.
Thank you for being here.
Happiness is not in the thinking.
It is in the stopping.
Act. Focus. Breathe.
Be here.
Right now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, everyone. See you in next episode.